So, if you didn't know, every summer me and my family go on vacation to the Outer Banks, and this year was no different. Except, I wouldn't usually make a video about this trip, but there were so many crazy things that happened on this trip that I just had to make a video on it. You'll see in a little bit. But before we get to the actual trip, I first have to talk about the day prior. This starts with one, I wanted to get a gift for my grandma, and she got me this puzzle a few months back, which was these dogs pooping, and she hates that puzzle. That's why she wanted to get rid of it. And I thought it would be a perfect gift if I were to glue it and give it to her. And two, my father asked me to go to Walmart with him, which was weird because my dad hates Walmart. But I agreed. So anyways, we go there and I asked him what we were doing. Dad? Are we picking up some like new tools or maybe some beach toys? No. We're getting boats. We're getting a boat? No. We're getting two boats. Two, plural. What? This was pretty crazy news because one, I love kayaking, and two, I haven't gone since my brother Ducky fell into a river. That's a story for the future. But anyways, there was one issue, and that's the fact that only me and my dad were the ones who were going to set these boats on the car. And let's just say that you need a minimum of 4 people to get a boat up on a car, let alone 2. So yeah, we kept on dropping them in the middle of the Walmart, sidewalk bit. And but after like 20 minutes, we both got them on and we drove home. And that's when we realized that our car was supposed to look like this, but it actually looked like this. So yeah, when we needed to take apart our hard work and reset all the boats on. So we waited for Dill Pickles to get home, and also I went to Malik and to ask him to help, and it went like this. Hey, could you help us with the boats?
Wait just a second.
Okay, bruv. And then Dill Pickles got home from work, and I asked him, and guess what he said? Hey, could you help me and Dad with the boats? Bruh, I'm sick, dog. Oh, but don't worry. Later on in this video, Dill Pickles will do something that he will never be forgiven for. But anyways, Dad finally convinces Dill Pickles and Malik to help us, and let's just say it went something like this. Seriously, you're making me mad. So yeah, eventually we got all the boats and we're ready for tomorrow. And I finally finished the puzzle. I did have to paint the back of the puzzle with 3 layers of paint because the Mod Podge that I got would not hold it. So I had to stay up until like 12. So yeah, by the time the next morning I made this video. Grandma is gonna love this. Look at this. It's all fully intact. You can't even break it. Painted the whole back with 3 coats last night. This thing is not breaking on the trip. Grandma is gonna love this. And speaking of the next morning, we woke up at 6:30, packed up our car, which, by the way, like, holy moly, we packed like we were gonna move there, even though we were only staying for like a week. But anyways, we got all our stuff in and all got into our seats, and then we were off. And since I stayed up till like 12 the night prior, after we got breakfast, I passed out until 11. But little did I know that when I woke up, all hell would break loose. So I woke up, and by the way, Jen was the one driving this whole time because my dad hates driving. But since Jen was still recovering from surgery, Dill Pickles would be our next driver. But only when we would stop the next, and then we would go. And that's when we stopped at this gas station to get some lunch. And I got some pretty mean chicken nuggets. But anyways, we get back, and Dill Pickles was ready. And immediately, whoa, Dill Pickles, what are you doing? I don't know, it just keeps on accelerating. Huh, that's weird. Hopefully nothing comes up from this. And while I was thinking that, the car just kept on doing that. It just kept on accelerating, igniting, basically out of nowhere. And if you've ever been inside of a car before, you know that that's usually not a good sign. And by the way, just keep in mind, this car started doing this weird thing right when Dill Pickle started driving. So yeah, just there's a little side to it, Dill. So we stop at an exit, and my dad gets in the driver's seat. And he tried it, and the car was perfectly fine. It was accelerating and start, but sure. But after a little bit, my dad got the hang of it. So should we call the auto shop? Nah, should be fine. It was just something with the transmission, but it sounds fine now. And after 30 minutes, we made the worst possible mistake we could have made. We allowed Dill Pickles to drive again. And immediately, when he started driving, there was a turn, and... What are you doing, Dill Pickles? I don't know, the car won't let me go. Do you have your foot on the gas? Yes.
Oh my god. There's a car coming from the left. What the shit, man?
Oh, frick. Alright, Dill Pickles, get out. I'm driving. But, unlike last time, when my dad started driving, it didn't just magically fix itself. It was driving, sure, but there was a slight issue. It wouldn't let my dad change gears. So we merged into the highway because we were stuck in the basically middle of nowhere and parking would be useless. So we merged into the highway on third gear, which if you don't know basically means that A, we could only go over 30 miles, and B, we were basically wasting gas. And we could not go to any exits because every time we turn, it feels like the car was going to break down in the middle of nowhere. So we just had to wait for like 30 minutes until we got to a town that actually had an auto parts store. And a little side note, this is what we were all like inside the car during this experience.
What the sick bed?
And finally, we get to an auto parts shop. And after feeling like we weren't going to die, I got out and me and my brothers went to the auto store while while my parents figured out what was wrong. And after they did a few tests, it turns out that it was a transmission error. So my dad was right. And since we kept on parking the car, it would basically split our transmission cord. And it was just a coincidence that every time we parked, Dill Pickles was the one who was the next driver. So no, technically, it was not Dill Pickles' fault. But come on, coincidence? I think not. So the auto man, he tried his best, and he did alright. So we got in, and we were about to leave. Okay, our car's a little bit weird, but we're only 2 hours away. We should be fine. Yeah, we made it 2 feet out of the parking lot before we realized that we were going to have to call a tow truck. And me and my brothers went to Food Lion behind the auto parts store because the auto parts store didn't really have any bathrooms and I needed to go. And while I went, Dill Pickles was nice enough to let all of us and our brothers pick out one thing, which everyone thought that he was being nice, but I personally thought the guilt was getting to him. Even though it wasn't his fault, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So we got our snacks and we sat by a tree when my parents called a towing person. Hey, Dill Pickles, why did you break the car? I'm gonna f***ing kill you. But then the towman came and he looked at our car and, oh my god, it was so much worse than we first thought. We thought we just lost fluid, but no, the transmission cord snapped in half. And the car was basically dead. So now we had to come up with a new plan. So our uncle, we're just gonna call him Dr. Subway. And he was going to drive halfway with his car while the towman's wife allowed us to use her van and we would drive halfway and meet up at like a gas station or something. And side note, very nice of them, because we tried to pay them and they didn't take it. So, shout outs to you. Didn't ask for their name. But anyways, we unpacked our car and repacked it into the van, which, by the way, we packed a lot of stuff, but we all got it in. Well, most of it. I had to leave the boat supplies, my bike, and for some reason my pillow. But anyways, we were off, and about halfway through our destination, we were about an hour away, and we took all our stuff and threw it in a parking lot. And look at this. Look at this funny little visual. Like, jeez. And we had to pack and repack this like 4 times. But anyways, we got into our uncle's car and we were off to our actual destination. And let's play a game. We were supposed to get there at 2:14, but I want you to pause this video and guess what time we actually got there. 6:22. Yeah, thanks, Dill Pickles. But anyways, we got there, unpacked, and I destroyed Ducky at pool. And then Dill Pickles destroyed me at pool. But then after we got our swimmies on, we jumped into the pool and for like 3 hours. And by then dinner was ready and I got fish and chips.
Huh. British.
And then we ended the day by going to sleep. Day 2. Day 2 started at 8 a.m. when my father woke me up so we could get some breakfast. And side note, the night prior, I stayed up till 12 a.m. writing the script for day 1. So yeah, I was a little bit tired. But that would not stop us from going to the ocean, which in the 3 hours that we were there basically consisted of, "Hey, Malik, I'm gonna go into the ocean." And by the way, Malik and Dill Pickles are the worst throwers ever, because I was in the ocean and they were throwing a tennis ball, but they kept on throwing it to the right. But then we went home, and since I was in the water for like 3 hours inside the pool, I just wanted to chill, just relax from the day prior, just from the ocean. But nope, Malik and Ducky just had to, throw water on my face. Yeah. So I just went in. But after a little bit of chilling, me and Jen went to this really small seafood shack to grab dinner. And, I was pretty sure that everyone and their mother was trying to get seafood from this one place on the island. But anyways, after spending like $200 on crab legs, we went home, and nothing of note really happened until about 4, when my father told me that we were going to go to the ocean to fish. And learning how to fish and set up the fishing poles and actually throwing them in was really fun. We didn't catch anything, but because the waves were in high tide and were so strong, it kept on taking off our bait, but it was still fun nonetheless. I really like fishing. So, since our things were messing up, we just decided to go to the Sound, which is on the opposite side of the Outer Banks. And it's really, really calm. It's the opposite of the ocean. Think about it as a pond, but 60 miles wide. So it was basically perfect for fishing. But what happened was, when we were coming back from the beach, Dill Pickles rode a bike, mainly because we didn't trust him to drive a car, but he drove off to the Sound while we went home. Then me and Malik asked our father if he could drive us to the Sound using the golf cart, and when me and Malik asked our father to drive us, he drove us there, right? And secondly, Dill Pickles wasn't there, which, is not a good sign. Is there a transmission cord inside the bike? But, anyways, he dropped me and Malik off at the beach and then drove off back home. So me and Malik were basically stranded on this small beach. But then after 30 minutes, Dill Pickles' dad and Ducky, for some reason, pulled up into the parking lot. And while I was trying to fish, Malik, Dill Pickles, and Ducky were having fun in the water, right next to it. So, you know what? I wanted to as well. So, 2 problems. 1, I left my bathing suit at home, and 2, Dad already left with the golf cart. So, what I decided to do was I was gonna, bike using Dill Pickles' bike, 5 minutes to get to the house without shoes. I mean, I had shoes with me, but it would be cooler if I didn't wear them, So, anyways, I got to the house after 5 minutes. I got my bathing suit on, and I went back, and it took 4 minutes to get there. And in the 10 minutes I was gone. Hey guys, I'm ready to have some fun in the sun and swim all day. What the Sigma? We were just about to leave, actually. Bruh, I just got soaked. Yep, you sure did. Anyways, see ya. So, yeah, when I got home, I decided to take a shower. And right when I finished, dinner was ready. And, dude, those crab legs, it's probably my new favorite food. But anyways, after dinner, me and Malik and Dill Pickles play some pool. And let's just say that I'm pretty good at pool. And they're pretty bad at pool. You don't understand how badly I destroyed them. I was literally, had the pool stick behind my back, getting all these balls in. I hit the ball over other balls. I hit my balls. Wait a second. And then we went to bed. Day 3. And the next morning, I went upstairs and I got an English muffin.
Heh, British.
Dog.
What does it mean?
And then after breakfast, we went to a gift shop. And firstly, I got this really cool statue and a cup for my dad for Father's Day. But there was one thing there that was so awesome, but Jen wouldn't let me get. And that thing that she wouldn't let me get was an ashtray shaped in a weed plant with a blunt in the middle of it. I wonder why she wouldn't let me get it. Also, Malik and Dill Pickles got these 2 Hawaiian shirts, and it was like a buy one, get one free thing, but the cashier said that, no, it's not a buy one, get one free thing. So, yeah, they kind of got scammed, but good news is right next to the gift shop, there's a pizza and donut place, and they didn't scam us. Also, for some reason, Ducky brought his, a huge safe into the gift shops. Look, here's a picture. But anyways, after we got home, we just chilled for a few hours. We played pool. Actually, me and Ducky were on a team against Dill Pickles and Malik, and we were about to win. They had 1 ball left, but we already had the 8 ball on. So I was going to win this game. So I called the middle ball, right? And I hit it too far to the left, and it went inside the corner hole. And if you don't know how pool works, that basically means that we lost. But that would not stop us from going to the actual pool, and that's what we did. It was fine until Ducky got on this Patrick Star float, and Dill Pickles jumped onto Ducky. Hey Ducky, watch out! So after Ducky stopped crying, we went inside and we actually played more pool until we were going to go to the beach. And by the way, Dill Pickles drove the golf cart. And it didn't break down. Woo! Alright. Good job, Dill Pickles. Good. Nice work. Remember that next time. And at the beach, we played this really fun game where we would throw the tennis ball into the waves, and someone would have to run in there and, fetch it. But that gave me the idea for one more game that we played. And it ended up not being too fun. So basically, it was like a trust fall. But instead of falling into someone's arms, you would look at the sand, like opposite of the water, and I would tell you to turn around and run when the waves started getting really big. So I played it with Dill Pickles, and it was fun until this one time there was a wave so big that I forgot to say, turn around and run. And I just started running. Dill Pickles ended up getting this huge red mark on his abdomen. So we stopped playing that game and went home. Then we didn't really do much for the rest of the day except for try to convince our uncle that basketball was a reality TV show and that Australia wasn't real. So yeah, then I went to bed. Day 4. So today I woke up and Jen came into the room and said that her and Dad were going to leave and they wouldn't be back until 5 or 6 p.m. So we wouldn't be able to go to the beach that day, but we would be able to go to the pool and stuff, and that's what we did. Also, I played the game of pool and absolutely destroyed Malik, but that was basically all we did until 6 when my dad came back and... Hey, Dad. Yo, guess what? We got the boats. What? Wait, did you get the Yukon back? Nah, we just had to get our stuff. Probably gonna have to get a new car. Wait, what? Hey guys, what's going on? So anyways, we got the boats and we bring them to the sound. And since there were only 2 boats, only 2 of us could go at a time. So me and Ducky were going to go first and Malik and Dill Pickles were going to go second. And me and Ducky, first thing we saw when we got out there was a fish jumping out of the water. And then we went so far into the water that we actually saw Jen on the balcony from the sound and she got this picture of me and Ducky. But when we got back and Dill Pickles and Malik went off, I decided that I wanted to do something a little funny. So, while they were gone, what I did was I took the golf cart keys and I hid them inside the sand. And me and Ducky thought that it would be hilarious, but when they got back... Hey, Dill Pickles. That was pretty fun. I'm just gonna grab my phone and... Hey, where are the keys? I hid them. Where? In the sand. Dude, I'm calling Dad. Wait, why? So yeah, Dill Pickles not only destroys cars, but he's also a tattletale. But the really interesting thing that happened was when we were all chilling at the sound, a woman came by and asked us, "Hey, can one of you take a photo of me and my family?" "Sure." "No, I will." "No, let me do it." "Dog, what the Sigma?"
What the Sigma? Is that Riz? Riz!
And then I didn't really think much of it until Dill Pickles came back. "So, how did it go?" "I'm part of the Davidson's family now." "What?" "Yeah, see ya." And the really funny thing is that me and Malik kept on saying, "W Riz, Rizzler, Riz," like really loud. Like they could definitely hear us. And, they were actually giggling. So Dill Pickles was pretty happy about that. Until a few minutes later when we were leaving, this happened. "Hey, Dill Pickles, grab the boats and bring them to the car." "Bruh, fine, I'll do it all myself. Bring them to the car." "Bye-bye, Dill Pickles." Bye, gang." "Hey, we were gonna be back tomorrow. Okay, I'll be here at sunset tomorrow." "See you there." Dude. So yeah, Dill Pickles got 4 girlfriends in one fell swoop. So yeah, good for him, I guess. But hey, Dill Pickles, you are my brother. And brother to brother, I know you're watching this, so I just wanted to give you some serious advice. Don't tell them that you broke the car. Alright, on to day, whatever. Day 5. So today started for me at 10. So yeah, a little bit late to be fair. But since it was the morning, the beach would be in low tide. So that's what we did. First thing we're gonna do is go into the beach. And 2 very interesting things happened while we were there. One, me, Dill Pickles, and Malik were throwing the tennis ball, and I did an "Malik, throw it!" "No!" "Yeah!" So yeah, I'm basically a legend. But the second, less interesting that happened was Malik got a girl's number. So it all started when we were sitting and Dill Pickles saw 2 girls about his age. And he wanted us to suddenly play catch with him in the water. And I knew what he was doing. So when we went out there, I purposely threw the ball a little bit far, just enough to get their attention. And they swam over and threw it back to us. Then we all started talking to them. And by the way, Dill Pickles was the one talking to them, not us. Me and Malik were epic VR gorilla tag gamers. We don't talk to women. And, Dill Pickles, I'm guessing you're cheating on the Davidsons now? Okay, but eventually Dill Pickles learned that all these girls were 13 and 14, and he is 17. So, as fast as he can, he ran away and let me and Malik take the stage. And oh my god, that was the most awkward 30 minutes of my life. You might not believe me, but put yourself in my shoes. You are talking to 2 girls. Your brother, who is supposed to help you and be your wingman, won't talk. He refused to talk. And we were throwing a tennis ball back and forth to them. Also, while dodging waves, it looks something like this. "So, where are you from?" We are from..." "Oh, yeah, Malik, do you want to speak to them?" "Malik." "Bruh."
What the Sigma?
And then, after 30 minutes, their friends came down, and they said the worst thing they could have possibly said in that moment. So, their friends get there, they look at us, and they said, "Where are you guys from? Ohio?" So, when I got back from the water, I thought that me and Malik blew it. So, I went with my uncle and aunt, and we went back home. And, I went as well. But Malik and Dill Pickles stayed behind to try and get the girl's number. And I was chuckling on the way back because I thought, that we ruined it. So we got to the pool, and 20 minutes later, Malik and Dill Pickles came back. So, how did it go, Malik?
I got them digits.
What? So, yeah, apparently we didn't ruin our chance. Only I did. So, yeah. That was basically all that we did that day. I played more pool, cried some. I also got a little shot, a glass of margarita, and Dill Pickles punched my 4-year-old cousin in the face. I am not joking. Dude, he punched me in the nose. Oh, and two funny things happened. One, we went to the Sound that day because we all wanted to see the sunset. And since we were just at the beach, Dill Pickles went exploring, I guess. And guess who he found? Malik's girls. And when Dill Pickles went to say hi, they were like, "Hey, Dill Pickles, where's Malik?" So these girls were actively looking for him. This is like a 1 in a million like thing that will ever happen. But when we went up to Malik, "Hey, Malik, those girls like really want to say hi to you and they want to talk. They're just over there."
Nuh-uh.
What?
Nuh-uh.
Dog, they are two girls actively looking for you. Go say hi.
Nuh-uh. Nope.
Dog, do you know how rare this is? Go talk to them.
Nuh-uh. What the Sigma?
Yeah, Malik fumbled worse than anyone has on this entire planet. But also another funny thing happened. So you know Dill Pickles? You know, the whole day he was focused on girls. Well, he forgot a very important thing. Sunscreen. Yeah, Dill Pickles got burned. Like, seriously, he was bright red. And two funny things happened. One, I slapped him on the shoulder and he almost strangled me. And two, it was after dinner. And Dill Pickles was talking to Jen and he was complaining about how everything hurt. And to give you a little context, Jen just got out of a serious surgery and has been cooking dinner for us this entire week. So basically this happened. Man, every single time I go to the hot tub, my back, it just hurts. And I tried to go to the pool and it hurt. And then I tried to go back to the hot tub and it hurt even more. So I dried off with a towel and it hurt me. Well, maybe you should quit being a little bitch. Oh, man, that burn must have hurt more than the sunburn. Here, I'll play you some music. In the arms of the angel, he belonged to. And to be fair, this was a lighthearted joke, and it didn't take him too seriously. And I know that Dill Pickles has been like my punching bag this whole video, but honestly, he is a good brother, and he always will be. But that burnt that Jen said was funny, like really funny. Okay, on to day 6. Day 6. So this day was sort of a chill day. We did get a new fridge installed at the very top floor, and I was afraid that Wi-Fi was going to go out. Okay, I should explain myself. So the Wi-Fi password was on a magnet on the old fridge, but since we were getting a new one, I said, well, how are we going to get the Wi-Fi password? And my whole family thought I said, how are we going to get the Wi-Fi if the Wi-Fi is connected to the fridge? So yeah, and speaking of family, my aunt and her 3 kids had to drive up since the Yukon was basically unfixable. Yeah, it turns out that fixing the car would cost more money than just buying a new one. Or 3. So yeah, we were not going to fix this Yukon. And our aunt came by to like pick us up and drive us back home in like a few days, so thank you. But it wasn't all bad. They got to have 2 days of vacation with us. And, you know, Dill Pickles, is there something you would like to say? What? And nothing much happened this day, except for 2 things. One, our uncle told us that he lost the keys in their car a few months ago, and it was stuck inside the car. They could still drive it because the keys have some sort of like weird magic like force field that like if the keys are inside the car drives, but they couldn't lock the car. And eventually the batteries would die and they would be stranded in whatever it died at. And they looked in their car for hours. They hired a police officer even to search the car to find the key, and they could not find it. So he told me, Dill Pickles, and Malik, whoever found the key first would get $50. And, you know, since I don't have a job and I'm broke, I would really appreciate, 50 smackaroonies. So I was determined to find this key. I was searching the trunk, under the seats, everywhere, as well as my brothers. Look at Dill Pickles. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Nope, better not drive this. Back up, dog. And guess who found it in the front seat, rolled up in the car's manual? Yep, not me, Malik. Of course, it was frickin' Malik. He gets the girls, the YouTube channel, and now the moolah. And the second interesting thing that happened that day was we went to the Sound to look at the sunset, and we were all coming back, and I had to ride my bike, which, side note, my dad, when he got the kayaks, also got my bike. And also, a funny thing is, since we are riding in my aunt's car to go home, her car doesn't have a bike rack holder. So I'm going to have to leave my bike at the house. I wonder whose fault that is. Bro, I literally did nothing. The car was going to break regardless. Okay, I got a little bit off track. Basically, I was riding my bike and a few other people in my family were riding the golf cart. And I decided that I was going to race them. And I was, ready. I was standing up on my bike going as fast as possible, but I couldn't keep up. And I wasn't going to win. So what I did was, right when they got to the road that merges into the sidewalk, I go through like a shortcut into our lawn, and I win that way. And, that's what I did. I basically won against a golf cart. So, that's a pretty good way to end the day. Also, we did not see the Davidsons again. But, actually, we did see the Davidsons. But I don't think I'm going to tell that story. On to our final day. Day 7. So, this day was a chill day again. We went to the beach for a few hours in the morning, and I got sunburn on my legs. Also, Dill Pickles brought a boogie board and trying to find a sandbar, but the waves were like 4 times as big as the ones like in the previous days. And he didn't have his glasses on, so he just swam back. Also, another thing that happened was, remember Dill Pickles' really bad sunburn? He started like forming blisters on his shoulder. That's how bad it was. But anyways. Another thing that happened when we got back was I got to take a few shots of alcohol. I didn't take full shots. I stole a little bit of Jen's shots, but I got to try a little bit of Fireball and tequila. And here are my reviews on each. Fireball is just straight up cinnamon. And tequila has like a mild taste at first, and then it immediately like kicks you in the face. So yeah, those were a 15-year-old's opinions on alcohol. Also, after that, we went to the pool, and I was throwing the football at Ducky, saying he would catch it. And my little cousin, for this video, we're just going to call her Elsa. So Elsa wanted me to throw it at her. And for some reason, I did such terrible throws that she thought I was doing it on purpose and almost cried. Also, my 4-year-old cousin wanted me to throw it at him, and I would toss it to him. But every time he would miss the catch, he would walk up to me and slap me on my leg. Butt cheeks! Dude, who taught you that? So, yeah, we were also going to have ice cream and also crabs for dinner. And that was basically it for the day. Now, let's reflect on this whole journey. 1, Malik is a loser who can't talk to women. 2, Dill Pickles, you can already see what I'm going to say about Dill Pickles. Ducky's favorite soccer player sucks at soccer, and I am awesome. But that isn't it. After the beach vacation, we were going to go to our grandma's, and that's where I currently am writing this script for the last part, So, if you want to see that trip in a video, then subscribe, I guess. It's going to be the same length as this video. Grandma, I picked out the puzzle that we were going to do. I picked out this one.
Oh, how did that get up here? You little dork. I don't want that puzzle.
Subscribe, and, because I'm going to do it anyways. But anyway, subscribe, and bye.